seemed like everyone wanted Conor McGregor's head on a plate after this weekend in the UFC. We see some fantastic fights taking place again. We see Dos Anjos defeating Cowboy Cerrone in emphatic fashion. We see Nate Diaz returning to the UFC after a year out. And the first thing that they had to say after their victories was to look to the Irishman, Conor McGregor. So let's take a look at what Dos Anjos had to say after his victory.
Hey, Mr. McGregor, if you want to come to lightweight division, this is my division, man. It's better to stay on featherweight division. I would fight you in Brazil. I would go to Ireland and face you there. Wherever I want, man. I'm here to stay.
The champion.
Dos Anjos was not the only one. Nate Diaz, also in his post-fight post-fight interview. I always get those confused with Joe Rogan. Roll clip of Nate Diaz.
It's been a year since we've seen you in the octagon, but you have never looked sharper. This was a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, Conor McGregor, you're taking everything I work for, mother. I'm gonna fight your. You know what's the real fight? What's the real money fight is me, not these clowns that you already punked at the press conference. Don't no one want to see that. You know you beat them already. That's the easy fight. You want that real right here. Hey, and I'm not.
Unfortunately, we can't talk like that on Fox. Congratulations, Nate, on a spectacular victory.
Nate.
He continued his post-fight press conference to discuss more of Conor McGregor.
Then now this guy Conor McGregor's coming back and he's doing all this big stuff and everybody's calling him out left and right. I'm not like these guys begging for no fight, but we're talking about big fights. He wants a big fight, we could fight, and that's a big fight. And that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Real fights, not funny, fake fights. And I know how to fight Michael Johnson. They give me a list of names.
I don't know if anybody actually knows what the hell Nate Diaz is talking about.
What's the difference between begging for a fight and calling out in your post-match fight interview saying, before you say anything else about your return to UFC action, is, oh, I want Conor McGregor. That's just like saying, hey, I would like a big money fight.
What he's saying, though, is that's that real shit.
No, that's that real shit. Right. Rather than asking for the fight, just shouting it.
Right. So McGregor took to Twitter to tweet out his response.
McGregor-esque fashion.
Of course, with the nice Rolls Royce, which we'll show you a clip of a little bit later on. Line them up on their knees with their hands out. I want them to beg me, which goes along with Oliveira, who also called out Conor McGregor as well. Obviously not nearly as of note as Dos Anjos, him being the champion of the 155-pound division, the lightweight division. So now there's a whole mess of UFC fighters who want their shot at McGregor. But I really believe there's one that deserves it before McGregor should move up to 155. I think that's Frankie Edgar. Frankie Edgar deserves a shot at 145. I don't think he would win. I think McGregor would dispose of him. Maybe not in 13 seconds, but I can't bet against the guy anymore. He's taken out everybody in his path. So Joe Rogan said the order of which that would be right would be Edgar at 145, which means he would have done everything he could at the featherweight division, move up to 155, fight Nate Diaz, which would be a big money fight. I'm sorry, Dos Anjos would be the big money fight, but does he deserve an immediate title shot? I don't think anybody should go from one division up to the next and immediately get a shot at being the champion. It doesn't matter who you are.
I know you've got to follow that suit, but as we see, the same thing happens in most of the divisions. Now that Holly Holm's defeated Ronda Rousey, there should be a pecking order to fight Holly Holm, but it's still going to be a rematch. They're still going to go back.
Well, if that's the case, then Jose Aldo should be fighting McGregor
and that's
next.
another big money fight. I don't think fighting. I think Nate Diaz deserves a shot at McGregor if he goes up. I don't think that's where the big money fight is. Obviously, I think he looked a lot sharper.
No, the big money one is Dos Anjos, yeah.
But I think the big money fight for. I mean, how often does the UFC think about taking care of all their fighters and being reassuring them that you're going to be next in line? No, it's about how much money Dana White can get into this sport whilst it's so popular at the moment. I think for Conor McGregor, I think it's just a straight diving into the deep end. I think it's gone straight from 145 up to 155 and fighting Dos Anjos. I think Frankie Edgar does deserve a shot as well. What happens if Conor McGregor goes into that, struggles, might even lose? Then that whole dream of being this fighter that's jumping up and down classes and just dominating the division dies down. And I know what you're going to say, well, he doesn't deserve it then if he can't beat Frankie Edgar. But I think in the featherweight division, I think he's proven himself. I think he just beat the champion who's been holding that division down for many years. And he's just defeated him in such
Chad
emphatic
Mendes
fashion.
too.
Chad Mendes as well.
Because if you want to round out if you really want to round out that entire division, it's Edgar, it's Mendes, and it's Aldo.
Yeah.
And if you beat Edgar, then you've done everything you possibly could have. Also, man, Frankie Edgar gets the shit end of the stick every single time these opportunities come up. Give the guy a fucking shot. McGregor disposes of him, cool, move up to 155. Fight either Diaz or Dos Anjos. I mean, knowing Dana White, he wants the money, he's going to give him the immediate title shot.
Yeah.
But I don't think at any point, I don't care who you are, you move up a division, you shouldn't be immediately given a shot at fighting for the championship belt in that division. What are you going to do? After that, then you're going to dispose of all the guys under that?
Then he's going to beat He's going to meet Jones. He's going to head up to the heavyweight division and meet John Jones.
There's no way he moves up to the light heavyweight division. That would be insane. And John Jones, I guess pound for pound, Aldo dropped out of the #1 spot for the pound for pound rankings. Yeah. John Jones making his return is going to be an interesting development. Maybe he goes down. Maybe there's a ridiculous catchweight.
All right, I'm going to drop 10 pounds, you need to gain 10 pounds, and we'll meet in the middle. It'll be interesting to see. All right, well, we want to know what you guys think. Who should Conor McGregor be fighting next? As you can see, there is a lot of people lining up to take a shot at the Irishman, and who wouldn't, seeing the money that he brings into this fantastic sport. Make sure to hit us up on Twitter at Francis_Maxwell, at JasonRubin91, and at TYT Sports. Hit the subscribe button. See you soon.